And so I answer a few of these questions. One of the main questions, one of the basic questions is, what is CBD? CBD is simply a chemical. These plants produce these chemicals, and we can't synthesize these chemicals the way the plants do. Different pharmaceutical companies are trying very desperately to synthesize these chemicals, but they don't work exactly the same. They might have all the exact same components, but they're not quite folded in the same way, not like the plant. And so that causes different issues. And that this chemical is, in fact, water insoluble. So it cannot be dissolved in water. And this is a very key component. If you put this chemical directly into water, it's going to fall out of solution. Just as if you put soil into water, it will eventually settle. So that's the same idea. And that's why we reconstitute this chemical in oil, because it will mix with oil. But oil and water do not mix. And that brings me to bioavailability. Now, this is the newest word that I'm trying to get out into the public to understand. What is bioavailability? Well, basically, bioavailability is how much of a drug or chemical gets into your bloodstream and how long it stays in there so that it can be helpful to your entire body. And bioavailability for oral consumption of CBD is between 6 and 15% at best. That means that if you are taking 100 milligrams of pure CBD and you swallow it, you only get 6 or 15 milligrams. Not good. But if you put it under your tongue for oral mucosa, you get about 35%. So usually when you're putting the oil under your tongue and you're holding it there, you can get about 35%. Intranasal is between 34 and 46. That's a spray up the nose like Flonase. And then vaporized, which is basically smoking it or vaporizing it in through the lungs, is the best at 40% because that's the most consistent way to get it in there. And then if you put it on as a topical, they don't know. They don't know what the bioavailability is because that depends on the person, how hydrated you are, how well your skin absorbs, and every person is completely different. So the reason, though, why for the such low oral bioavailability is because of first pass liver metabolism. So what happens is your liver, if you take any substance, all the nutrients, everything that was in your stomach goes straight to the liver. It gets absorbed into the bloodstream, it goes straight to the liver. And the liver really does love CBD. It loves it so much that's why you also have drug interactions. So there are some drug interactions. It's not the normal type of drug interactions that you think of. What it does is CBD and the liver have this wonderful relationship, and there's an enzyme in there. And it prefers CBD over, say, you're taking warfarin. So it will let warfarin keep passing through your system and not metabolize it, while CBD is being eaten up by this enzyme. So the warfarin stays in your body longer, and if you take another dose of it, then you end up, that's when you can end up overdosing. So that is something you want to be conscientious of whenever you start taking CBD, making sure that your doctor understands that you're taking CBD. And I always highly suggest that if you are thinking about taking CBD, don't tell your doctor that you're thinking about it. Tell them you are going to, and that you want their help in understanding what medications you need to come down and take a lower dosage of. And they will have to work with you because they don't want you to get hurt. But if you are going to take it, it's completely legal. Taking hemp is completely legal now due to the Farm Bill. They will work with you because they don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Is there any publication that shows drug interactions yet for the CBD?
They are few and scattered and very hard to come through, but there are some. There is one on warfarin specifically, but they started out at 120 some milligrams of CBD, but the guy had epilepsy as well, and he was on warfarin. And they were able to figure it out, but they had him taking over a gram of CBD at the end of it. So, and one case study, one. So, like I said, few and far between.